Genesis. My fault, y'all. Lord in Christ. I was going in. Put a one in the chat if we got the audio. Put a one in the chat if we got the audio. It's all good. We're good now. Americans pick evil. Americans pick evil. Orange man over black woman. Let's talk about that today. Americans pick evil white man over colored woman, right? We're going to talk about that today. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about and you're living under a rock, what a time to be alive. History was made last night. We covered it, me and my dear beloved brother, Hassad. And so we want to definitely start this off
Genesis.
by giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and we do so by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. That's all praises to our Heavenly Father. Excuse me. In the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, I am Priest Hakah, your Hebrew Israelite, the true Jew that the Bible speaks of. And so are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's your true identity and ethnicity. Also known as Deacon Genesis. That's the camp, their end, our beginning. That's how Donald Trump last night was feeling like a Genesis member. He was feeling like their end, our beginning. He was feeling like their end, our beginning, and he took it. Hit that like button. We're going to talk about it today, y'all. Black America is pissed. Black America is heated right now. Black America is crestfallen. Predominantly, majority, right? They are crestfallen, disappointed, shattered, irate, furious, and every synonyms to that. Excuse me. Right? Hit that like button. We're going to talk about it today. I got a lot to go into. I got a lot to talk about. I got some personal testimonies. We got some viral clips about this aftermath. We got some exposing to do. Right now. Right? Oh, and black people are so mad. And they're saying, oh, well, you should be mad too. Listen. They're both... Let me show you guys what my cousin said first. Let me go on Facebook. Let me show you guys what my family is saying. Right? Let me go on Bookface and show you guys what my family is saying. Right? So let's go to... Look at my... This is kind of like my uncle, right? This is kind of like my uncle, right? I won't get too much into his personal life. I just want to read one comment from Unc. I want to read a comment from Unc, right? Let's share the screen, y'all. Let's share the screen. We got a lot to talk about today. Lord in Christ. We have a lot to talk about today. Right? So take a look at this, right? This is what Unc posted. Gotta watch out for Unc, y'all. All the Uncs. I'm Unc status too, though. Right? But he's great Unc. He's great Unc status. Right? So he says, he puts the target emoji, right? He says, a black podcaster summed it up. It's a masterclass in white privilege. Now, he's right about this. Listen. Everything, I just want to make this clear to those who are new to this channel. Everything that black people are saying about Trump, I agree with, outside of how his economic plan for this country has been better than the Democrats and all their candidates. Under him, there wasn't any wars, and the Americans feel this, which is why he won the popular vote and the electoral vote. So, better economy, no war. I mean, really, that's it. Those two selling points, that's it. Right? Let's just be real. But he's evil, he's sexist, he's chauvinist, he's racist. I agree. But let's not act like Kamala Harris is trying to undo the white structure and that she doesn't feel like she's white or she wouldn't have married white. Like I posted on my Instagram earlier. If she wanted to do anything for black men, she would have married one. You understand? If she wanted to do anything for black men, she would have married one. So let's go back to Unc. It says, a black podcaster summed it all up. It's a masterclass in white privilege. And that's true. He can't say enough racist things to be racist. He can't commit enough crimes to be a criminal. I mean, the man had like 34 felonies or something. He can't fail enough times to be a failure. He can't say enough stupid things to be stupid. And he has said some of the dumbest, outlandish things ever. The idea of him overshadows any reality. He's the Christian savior who doesn't know the Bible. That's true. The adulterer who has sex with porn stars and steals from charities. But what is he telling you? That white people are untouchable.
Say it again. Say something else.
Right? This is what Trump just showed the world. That white supremacy reigns true. That the image of the beast is alive and kicking, which is white supremacy. Oh, he showed the whole world that white supremacy is untouchable. And he's given a promise to white America of the protection of whiteness. That's what he represents.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
Right? That's what he represents. Now, this is true, but here is the irony to what my uncle posted here. He acts like, let me pull up something real quick. He acts like Kamala Harris is here to undo the white supremacist power structure. He acts like on the flip side, he's saying, and he's speaking for all of the silly, emotional, uneducated, brainwashed black people in America and brown people in America. They think because this woman has some melanin that she's there to help other people with melanin and to undo this white supremacist power structure. Are you a goddamn joke? She can start. One step is getting rid of her white husband. Then, you know how much more of the black vote Kamala Harris would have got if she got rid of that damn devil, that cracker, right? Excuse me. Okay, so let's pull this up. You know, she's not here, and look at her throwing up the devil horns. She's not here, Black America, to undo the white supremacist power structure. Through her, the white supremacist power structure will indeed, let me move this out the way, will indeed reign supreme. Oh, look at them. They're in love. They're in love. Right? How much more of our vote would she would have got? And this is the age of wokeness. Somebody says you can't control who you love. Yes, you can. It's how you were raised. Right? But we got a lot to talk about today. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. This may be a long one for y'all who's at work right now and mad you can't catch the live. I'll be on for a while. I will be on for a while, Lord willing, and through the Spirit. Right? We're going to talk about, we're going to listen to Trump's victory procession. We're going to listen to Kamala Harris' defeat speech, right? We're going to listen to her defeat speech. You guys are going to hear why not just Black Americans are brainwashed. So there's two things. The Democratic supporters are brainwashed because they believe that the Democrats have the best interests of minorities and colored people, which is far from the truth. And then white America is brainwashed because they believe Trump is going to keep every promise that he made, and that white supremacy is going to be upheld and never crumble and fall. That's also untrue, right? So all of America, both sides rather of America, is brainwashed. We, most of you who are watching this channel, you are the ones who have been unplugged from the matrix, which is a very, very few, the ready, right? And the narrow gate, that's who we are. But y'all are not gonna believe what she said during her defeat speech. I gotta play some of it. And oh, the blacks are so mad. But I can tell you this. She is happy that she does not have to pretend to be black anymore.
Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching.
It's so hard being black. It is hard being black. We always say everybody want to be a nigga till the cops come. And she's so happy when she got those results last night. She probably said, whew, right? Got the hot sauce out of the house. Got the the black accessories, cosmetics out of the house, because it's hard being black. And her ass felt immediate relief after Trump hit that 270. You understand that?
Crank it up!
So, in the blacks, they're so mad. Now, to the black men, I will say this. To the black men, she went and got the greens out of the tub. She had some greens. She had some greens in that tub waiting to do the victory scrub bars. She had the greens in the tub waiting to do the victory scrub. Bars, right? But I have to say this to you, black men. The black women are mad at you black men right now. The black women are mad at you black men right now. I don't know why, though, because most black women only voted for Kamala so that they can get rid of their babies while they're in the womb. Be mad at me all you want, because that's the leading cause of our death as a race, as an ethnicity. And Kamala wanted to perpetuate that and keep that going. But black people say, oh, my Jesus, dance your wig off, dance your fake eyelashes off, dance the damn lip gloss off your lips, dance out of your loafers at church, scream and cry that you love God, but really in your heart is far from him. They honor me, as it is written. It says, they honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. But here's the thing. So most black women voted because of that. And now they're mad that that's going to be more complicated to do. Mass death is going to be more complicated for the black woman under this Trump administration. Now, most men follow after their women. Most black men. I'm talking about the black community right now. Most black men follow after the black woman. I might be the only one on the earth who doesn't follow after the black woman. The black women follow after me, as it is written, right? I'm joking. If you're a Hebrew Israelite, then most of us, not even every Israelite. You know what? I'll say half, because I know some leaders who in our community who the women ain't following. It ain't, the math ain't mathing. But I'll say half of our community at least. In the black community in the world, 5%. In the Israelite community, 50%. All right. 50% of our men are really leading. The women are following. We're not following them. Right. But our men do what our women do. I remember Jadakiss said this in a song. He said, niggas do what, itches do. And this is why if you go to like R&B concerts, you're going to see some grimy ass thug niggas there. What are they doing there? They don't know Jill Scott's song. They don't know Lauryn Hill's song. They don't know her and Keisha Cole. They don't know them songs. But they're there at the concert. You can guess for what. Right? So men follow the women. This is in the Bible, though. I want to bring this up real quick, right? In Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Right? These prophetic curses need to be broken. Can we break them all? No. But some of these you can circumvent. You understand? And just let your nuts hang and lead. You understand that? That's it. Don't be.
I'm not gay no more.
A lot of our men are effeminate. Let's just be real, especially in the black church. My brother Jose at the water for the super chat donation. Greatly appreciate you, my dear beloved brother. All praises. Big G's not the little one. You already know. So, I was going somewhere. All right. So, yeah. So a lot of our sisters are mad at the brothers. A lot of our sisters are mad at the brothers. And I just want to say this. if you are living off of your woman and not voting for a woman, y'all see where I'm going? You living off your woman, but you don't want to vote for a woman. I can see why the black woman is mad at your black ass. You understand that? If you were living with if you are living under the woman, driving her car, not putting gas in it when you get back to the house, using her last EBT, asking her for a little bit of change, and then she was like, all right, we're going to vote for Kamala, and you're like, nah, I don't want to vote for the woman. I can see why she would be mad, right? It's crazy. I woke up this morning and listen, they could go back down, but I woke up this morning and the stocks were up. Let's take a look. The stocks was up. Bitcoin was up. I invested in a little bit of crypto, right? Take a look at it. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's up. It's up. Now listen, is it extremely up? If you invested a lot, that could be extreme. Nevertheless, people are feeling like this is it's a brighter. It's potentially going to be a brighter future for Babylon, right? It's up. Let's take a look at gold. Let's take a look at gold. Ra'amaya Thawada King for the super chat donation. Greatly appreciate you, my Genesis brother. Gold prices today. Let's take a look. Oh, 2,600. Okay, so it almost is. I think that might be the highest. Let's see. Gold prices for the last 30 days. Let's take a look at the last 30 days. All right, Zamron, hold on real quick, brother. Let's see. But anyway, so we see what appears to be some immediate economic ascension, immediate economic mobility, if you will. Okay. So we're going to get into some clips. We're going to get into both of the speeches. And again, you're not going to believe what this woman said. And you're really not going to believe what Trump said. But Americans pick an evil orange man over a so-called black woman. We're going to talk about her pedigree. We're going to talk about how black Americans really think they're voting for a black. Right? Hit that like button, y'all, so we can really get started. We're just scratching the surface. Hit that like button so we can really get started. I got some things we want to go into. A lot of black people mad that their teenagers can't go and get that surgery to make their private parts be something different. A lot of black people mad at that. But they believe in the Bible so much. Oh, not my Jesus. But they mad because their children can't now and go get that surgery that makes this into a this. Or this into a this. Oh, Kamala was going to make sure they got that. They could do that freely. That they could do that freely. Lord in Christ. Lord in Christ. Tanya, Sister Tanya at the water for the super chat donation. Greatly appreciate ya. And do it with our taxes, huh? Link in the chat from my dear beloved brother, Chief Soldier Zamrun, all the way up out this Genesis Seattle. Link in the chat for my brother. Come on here and pop it with me one time. Right? So, lot to talk about. Yeah, they're mad that they can't. They want to take knives and stick them in their stomachs. They want to go do these surgeries to where this is turning into this. And they want to, they forget what she did. They forget that she put thousands of your nephews, uncles, grandpas, fathers, and brothers in the slammer. You forgot about her legislation where she was in California locking up all of your brothers, your nephews, your uncles, your great uncles, your stepdads, father-in-laws. You forgot about that, right? Well, we're going to talk about it today. All right, we got my brother. Let me make sure we can see him. All right, you're live. Give him a mic check.
Giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. We do so through His Son, Ba'ashem Yahushua, who y'all call Jesus Christ. Y'all can hear me?
We hear you clearly, man. What you got to say, brother? Remember, we got to keep it. We got to talk in code because they be hating on the deep. They be hating on the priest, Salakia.
Bars either way, though. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to kind of chime in on what you were just saying. I can't see your screen for some reason. I can see me.
Don't worry about it. That's good.
Okay, bro, do you mind going to Ecclesiastes 4:16 real quick? I got like 2-3 scriptures, bro. That's it.
Let's hit a couple of these. Let's hit a couple of these scripts. Ecclesiastes what?
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 16. Brother Master P. We're going to call him Master P.
It says, Ecclesiastes 4:16, there is no end of all the people. That right there?
Yep.
Even of all that have been before them, they also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit.
So we're going to constantly have a vexation of spirit, bro, living in our captivity, because the same things that we were going through back then are the same things that we're going through now. The same wicked leaders that we had back then, those souls, you know what I'm saying, and those spirits are exhorted in our enemies that we are seeing right now. So to be upset, you know what I'm saying, about, you know, especially with dealing with a lot of the Aqua, a lot of the women upset that Kamala didn't win, it really just shows how we have a lack of knowledge, if you feel what I'm saying. Because it's like, if we had that knowledge, bro, then we would understand that, hey, bro, the stuff that's going on back then is still going on to this day. Nothing is new under the sun. Ecclesiastes 1:9, right?
Now they feel like that this time. Let me tell you something. You can tell black and brown people anything, and they'll eat it up. They're so gullible and just so naive, and you could just mess them over every time. So apparently black and brown people must have felt like, oh, she's the one. Things are going to change with her. We as black people do this every 4 years, and they give us these empty promises they never fulfill. And then black people are hurt. This is an abusive, like Hassad said yesterday on our live coverage. The relationship between the black community and the Democrats is an abusive relationship. It is. It's literally an abusive relationship. I'm going to beat the hell out of you. And then I'm going to say sorry. I'm going to do better. I'm going to get counseling. I'm going to go into therapy. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to take a walk when I'm mad. And then it for 60 days, you know, some of that happens and then it goes back to the same BS. You understand?
Man,
And that's our problem as a people, right?
Right. And that's why I was bringing out, that's why I brought out Ecclesiastes 4:16, because I wanted to bring this out secondly, right?
Go ahead.
Because nothing is new under the sun. And the same things that our people are exhorting right now, as we're seeing, as far as their reactions, as far as their beliefs, as far as their motives, we've seen back then and it's written. This is Isaiah 31, verses 1 all the way through 3. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Now, in context, this is talking about, you know what I'm saying, Egypt, right? But as we see, you know what I'm saying, nothing is new under the sun. And so a lot of these Edomites, right, or enemies, should I say, have, you know what I'm saying, literally exhorted that same type of spirit, right, to the point that our people would rather glory, right, the Grecians, you know what I'm saying, instead of the Most High. So continuing, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Our people are so concerned about voting, not realizing that it's of the Most High who's going to decide who's going to be elected anyway at the end of the day. Because prophecy has to fulfill. Verse 2, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity, which is what we're seeing right now, which was what we've been seeing literally for the last 10 years, if you want to be honest, right? Verse 3, now the Egyptians are men and not God, and the horses flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fall together, shall fail together. So if you want to be just like those saying, like our forefathers back then who trusted in the ancient Egyptians, you're gonna end up falling with them. Right? If you want to take on that same mindset as far as what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
Let the Most High Yahweh do his work.
That's right. And our people are not going to understand that. Why? Because they're not spiritual. But a spiritual man understands all things. Our people are so carnally minded, like the brother Zamron said, trusting in our oppressors for millenniums, thinking that they're going to be good for us and good to us. It'll never happen. There is one that's going to be good to us, and that's the Heavenly Father when he breaks us out of these chains of bondage. All right, let me share my screen real quick, right? You got some time? You going to stick around?
It's up to you, King.
I know you got
live, bro. It's your live, bro.
I know you got another scripture. We'll pull it out in just a second, right? Now, I promised something. I promise. So, do you have your phone with you, Zamra? Okay, so when I share my screen, you're not going to be able to hear it. So you might have to mute.
No, I'll be able to hear it. I'm going live off my phone.
Okay.
I got two phones.
So let's see. When I got
two phones.
Let's see when I share my screen and play this YouTube video if you're able to hear it. If not, you're going to have to mute one device and listen from the other. I need y'all to listen to this. I got so many clips and so many things to talk about. I'm going to start with this. And then when I'm going to both of their speeches, I'm going to go into both of their speeches. But I want y'all to take a look at this, right? Let's see. Look at this.
Where y'all? Where were you at? What happened?
Let me share my screen.
Biden had 81 million votes.
Okay, here we go. Can y'all hear that?
Obama had 332 electoral college votes.
Let me go back and replay that. Oh, the black woman, she's angry. She's mad.
Where were y'all? Where were you at? What happened? Biden had 81 million votes.
Now, listen, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe I should go to her page because she looks like that she is of the alphabet community. She looks like she could be of the alphabet. Look at this. Look at this. You got the.
Welcome to Jocelyn's Cabaret.
Look at this.
Your every desire will be fulfilled.
What? Yo, and you got your goddamn nerves to want to talk about some politics. We know exactly why you want Donald Trump, because you're taking them back shots, getting pregnant just like that. So maybe she's not in the LGBTQ, or maybe she's going both ways, but she's getting pregnant a lot. You can tell, especially with what we just seen there, right? Now,
you know what's funny, Deke? You know
go ahead,
what's funny,
brother.
Deke? This same video, this same woman you just pulled up, bro, of Israel, bro, is the same type of spirit that Kamala Harris allowed through the celebrity system to come on stage, bro, and represent her.
Man, that is such a powerful point, Brother Zamron. That is such a powerful point. She had Megan Thee Stallion, she had Cardi B, and all those hot girl thoughts campaigning for her election. And the Most High said, nah, we will not be doing that. That's tacky and wacky. Let's see if she has. She probably has OnlyFans. She probably has OnlyFans, but like I said, we got kids here. Let's take a listen to what she's saying.
Where were y'all? Where were you at? What happened? Biden had 81 million votes. Obama had 332 electoral college votes. Kamala's numbers, go look at them. Where the fuck were y'all?
Lord in Christ.
Where were y'all? Where were you at?
Unlearning abuse also requires for me to unlearn the survival tactics.
Okay, I don't want to look at that. That's not cool. It seems like she's in a domestic violence situation. I do not condone that. So I have nothing to comment on that video. But I will say there is many women who share her exact sentiments, crying and crashing out because Kamala Harris did not win, but they're mostly the hot girls, the thought girls, right? And they're saying, where were y'all? Y'all didn't show up. Well, maybe certain of us in the black community are getting tired. I mean, we have understood the empty promises from both parties. The Hebrew Israelites are not Democrat or Republican. We are Israelites, and Yahweh Shai is our king. You understand that? Under this theocratic monarchy, if you will. But if you are saying that you're a black person and you want to pick a party, and you're saying you're this hardcore Baptist Pentecostal Christian, if we're being truthful, the Republican ideologies and worldviews line more up with yours. But because you want to settle for these fake promises and the false hope of economic success and government assistance, then you vote Democrat, and you also want freedom with your own body to change a hole into a stick, change a hole into a meat stick, or to get rid of this precious, precious child who is inside of you. Go ahead, speak on that, brother. Salakia.
Yeah, I got two precepts to speak on what you just said, and that's powerful, bro. First one, bro, I'm gonna go to is Psalms 118, verse 8. It says, "It is better to trust in Yahweh than to put confidence in man." And see, that's a problem with our people. And why is it that you see a history and a chain reaction of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans from generation after generation after generation, repeating the same pattern. The reason why is because it's spoken in the Bible, because it's part of the curses, right? And you can another one is talking about Ecclesiastes 7:7, right? Why is this happening? We can talk about Jeremiah 5:19 as well. You know, us not listening to the commandments. That also goes with it as well, right? But I want to get Ecclesiastes 7:7, right? Because we got to understand that our people have been smitten with madness and blindness and the astonishment of heart, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28, to where that now, once again, where our people are leeching towards our enemies, looking for hope, they're let down. You're going to be let down, whoever it is that you're going for, whether you're going for Kamala Harris or whether you're going for Donald Trump, right? Even if you have a preferable choice, understand that prophecy still has to unfold. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. The oppression that has been done upon our people has literally got our people crazy. Is it talking about upset and angry? No, it's just literally talking about out of your mind.
Right. Bugged the hell out.
Bugged out to the point that, you know what I'm saying, you can't even see that we have literally been raped, robbed, and murdered and enslaved and pillaged for over thousands of years, and yet you still trust the enemy, right? It says, and a gift destroyeth the heart. And that's the king, the gift. The little minimal gifts that they try to give us when they promised us 40 acres and a mule, right? The little gifts that they promised us, right, that they didn't give to us. And then they set up devices where we're not supposed to be blinded by, like the scripture says, to where we're thinking Abraham Lincoln freed us from slavery. Okay, and now, you know what I'm saying? Okay, well, why is Donald Trump acting like this? Okay, well, why is this still going on like this? Oh, and then we see somebody that may look like us, and then we just run to their narrative thinking that they're going to give us salvation because we truly don't believe in Yahweh.
Right.
And I yield, Ken.
But no, that I should have brought that out. I forgot all about that text. A gift destroys the heart. That should have been the title of this video. A gift destroys the heart. Blacks are mad. That should have been the whole title. A gift destroys the heart. Blacks are mad. Right? He's gonna stop our gifts. Y'all black asses didn't get any stimulus checks under Biden. You got higher gas prices, higher food prices, higher taxes, and war. You didn't get no stimulus checks under. So is he gonna fix everything like he says? No. But if we're even talking about the crumbs that both parties gives us, which party gives the most crumbs? Oh, that question alone is horrible because we're thinking like homeborn slaves and peasants. Which party's going to give us the most crumbs? Oh, I'm crying because this one, he had a little bit more crumbs that he was going to give. None of them talking about reparations. Kamala says she has nothing specific for your black ass. Which we going to play that again. Now, somebody said Shiva has left the building. Get her ass out of here. Now, but look at this Trump campaign. We're gonna take a look at some of both of their speeches, right? You're not gonna believe what Kamala says. We're gonna highlight that right after this. But I have so many other clips that I hope our people can watch. Not just Israelites, our people in general. So let's play some of this victory procession from Trump. And it says, Trump will fix it. Look at that promise. Listen, the way whoever, because some people are going to say, no, the Biden administration was trying to recover from what Trump did. And then Trump's going to say, no, I was trying to recover from what Obama did. And so they're going to blame everybody. So who knows, right? They're all devils and liars. But saying that you can fix the mess that the Biden administration is currently in is a Herculean task, and he is sitting here promising the white America that he is going to fix it. Let's listen to this. Damn, I hope I don't get a copyright strike. Let me go up. Okay.
And
Fair use, y'all. Fair use.
Fair use. This is going to be our thoughts and comments on this content. Let's take a listen. Look at the prideful. What does the Bible say about an Edomite and how prideful an Edomite is? Who are the Edomites if you're new to the channel? The Caucasian man, woman, and child. They are the biblical Edomites. We all have biblical nationalities. All right? So let's take a listen.
frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly.
Now listen to this, y'all. Watch the double talking. He's saying we're going to help, but your campaign slogan is Trump will fix it. Not help it. Not put a Band-Aid on it. You're going to go in there, do surgery, stitch it up, put a cast on it, and that arm's going to be like brand new. Now you're saying, oh, all I got is a sling. All we got is a sling for the arm now.
We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now.
Oh, he did overcome obstacles. Assassination attempts, 34 felonies, all of his his trials and his charges, lawsuits.
Hey, D.
Go ahead.
Hey, Priest. I call that the ketchup package massacre, bro. Ketchup package massacre. You feel me?
Who's that? Oh, Thawada, somebody subbed. I got to get my chat alerts together. Somebody subbed Thawada for the sub, and make sure you continue subbing so you don't miss this exclusive content. You understand that? Let's continue. I mean, just massacred Kamala Harris, right? Still the devil. He's still the devil and evil, and he's a liar. And everything that you guys say, I agree with you. Excuse me, but he completely massacred her popular votes and electoral vote. I mean, it was the white America said, which is the predominant demographic of this country, they said, we rather put a man. Just put this in perspective, everybody. They don't care if she's East Indian. They don't care if she was Arabian with a little bit of color. They said instead of a woman, 1, and of color, 2, we rather put this egotistical, discriminatory, prejudice, 34 felonies, lawsuits, extortioner, uneducated, sexist, chauvinist, man in the office. White man in the office. That's crazy. This should show you that this country's not for you. They don't give a damn about you. Even Kamala. Watch what she says on her speech. Let's continue.
Now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you.
He's talking spicy.
In my body. I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
He said this will be the golden age of America. That, my friends, is a fabrication of his imagination. And the white America is going to eat that up. They're going to eat that up. Brother Zamron, you know, the white man is so prideful and thinks that they could overthrow the prophecies of God. We know the Bible says that America is Babylon. and it has to be destroyed, and it's going to crumble internally in every aspect. So what say you, man? You think the orange toupee, man, is stronger than the Most High to keep? You remember, every to anything that has a start has an ending. God said every kingdom has to be straightened, meaning narrowed, meaning destroyed.
Right.
All these empires come to an end. Go ahead, brother. Speak on that.
This is what I say. The orange toupee, nor the red that y'all seen displayed all over the United States Snakes of America map on those poles yesterday.
It was blood red. It was blood red. It was Pyru red. The whole country was Pyru red yesterday. Right? I had to throw my Republican red on. No, I'm joking. But go ahead, brother.
They have no power. Everything is of the Most High God. I'm gonna bring this out real quick. It's a classic, bro. It's one of my favorites. We bring it out all the time, but it's got to be brought out because we get reminded of this every single day. Sometimes y'all be weak in faith as Israelites. Then the Most High got to do things like this to get you to think and to get right and to repent and to get back to that candlestick. You know what I'm saying? That He gave you in the beginning, like spoken about in Revelation 2:5. This is Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So it's up to the Most High Yahweh when He decides when peace is going to be established. We know through the prophecies that peace is going to be established, like spoken about in Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority. That righteous is dealing with the Israelites, right? Because in the everlasting righteousness is the law. We know the law was given to the Israelites. We are still being shot down in the streets to today. Our votes do not matter. Right. Whether they try to lie and deceive you, whatever they try to do, we're not ignorant by His devices because we are commanded not to vote for Him anyway. But we understand, right, that it's the Most High who's going to be the one that's going to create peace. And He creates darkness. So there's nothing that they can say or do. You have Trump talking about that, well, you know, I'm going to stop so-called World War III, right? And he may do everything in his power to do that.
Well, I don't think he's going to do that anymore because he just threatened. We're going to take a look at it. He just had a message to Iran and a message to Putin.
Okay, because I was about to say, because Putin said something today, right? It was saying that if America do try to get involved as far as trying to defend Ukraine, that they're going to do exactly what they have to do is necessary to, you know what I'm saying, to defend what they own. Which means they go into war. And Putin said it with a straight face, bro. So
all praises. And them are the strong Edomites. They wrestling with donkeys and elks. I said donkeys. They wrestling with elks and bears over there. America's just playing Fortnite. But I want to say this, brother, to Brother Zamron as well, right? So these white people, when they thought they were getting ready to lose, they were finna grab Blick. I don't want to say it like because they might try to say I'm trying to start something, right? If you get what I mean. But,
I got what you mean.
But this is true though. Them white people, they was finna grab Glick, they was finna grab Blick and go on one. They was about to slide, right? We'll say that. When black people's candidate loses, they just cry. Y'all are not built to battle white supremacy. You're not built to fight against white supremacy. Soft targets. Now, what Trump is going to do, which is why he also completely destroyed her on the popular and electoral votes, he's going to grant, because he said it before, he's going to grant the law enforcement agencies total immunity when they blast your ass in the streets, man. You understand that? He's going to give them total immunity. And so remember during his administration, Listen, that George, these high profile police involved murders were happening under his administration, right? And he's gonna give them that full immunity when they go and get you Negroes, because y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve it. You kill each other anyway, right? So remember, I'm gonna play this clip. You remember when we walked up to the Seattle police a couple weeks ago, and we asked them who they were voting for, and they said, we can't tell you who we're voting for, but we know they're voting for Trump because these police, they want that full immunity, not just in case, but when they blast your ass, boy. And that's what you get.
Shout out to Priest Sakai, bro, because I wanted to keep pressing him. And Priest Sakai was like, no, let's go, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna get them live. I was like, we don't want them harassing us like we were about to harass them, right? So let me show you guys this clip from a couple weeks ago when we asked the police who they're voting for, right? This is Seattle police.
We are all here
We got one question for the Seattle Police Department. Are you guys pro-Israel?
First, we asked if they're pro-Israel. Wait, did we even ask about Trump? Or did we just ask about if they're pro-Israel?
No, we didn't ask if they was we didn't ask anything about Trump. It was just straight pro-Israel.
Okay, my bad. Excuse me. Either way, same thing. If you're if you're pro-Israel, you're pro-Trump. We know what's going on.
They can't. Okay. They're like bartenders. Bartenders will never get.
So they wouldn't answer our questions on if they were pro small hats, if they were pro 1948ers, right? And we know what time it is. We know what time it is with them. Let's go back here. Let's go back to this speech here. And so you guys can listen. He did issue a couple of threats on his first speech. So there was even certain Israelites, Zamra. There were certain Hebrew Israelites that were sad about Trump because they thought that Kamala was going to be the one to start turning up the war because, you know, she's picking up where Biden left off. But
you know why that is, bro?
Talk to
you know
him.
why that is? Bro, I know you seen them posts on social media, bro, with Kamala Harris, bro, with that purple blazer on, with the middle linebacker shoulders, bro. Talk about Revelation 17, y'all. Look at the great horn.
I heard that too. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah, so you Israelites out there who really need to check your goddamn selves. You had no reason being upset that Kamala lost. But here's some resolve for you. Here's some hope for you. Trump, during his first speech, took shots at Iran and Putin. So with threats. So there's some resolve for you. Chill out. Like I told you guys yesterday, the Most High going to use either one of those he want to use to fulfill the prophecy. One's not less capable. They're both evil. Let's go.
This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But
he's busting.
But it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that. Thank you.
Babylon. Babylon. Babylon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And, winning the popular vote was very nice. Very nice, I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people, beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And the Senate races.
He's such an asshole. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. I also got the popular vote. Wow, I love it.
In Montana.
Bro, he boasting like Lil Durk
Texas,
fresh out, bro.
Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We're all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much. And in those
But
cases,
really, though,
every one of them, we worked with the senators.
this
There
was
no
all
place
set
to
up
do-
and planned.
I mean, the number of victories in the Senate.
Because they
was
made
absolute-
sure, like, if you kind of look into it, right, it kind of seems like they made sure that Trump got all the states that had the most electoral votes.
Yeah, that was a good strategy though. If you know, that's definitely the best strategy. Go for the biggest electoral votes. The easiest way to get to 270, and he passed that, right? Somebody says, of course, he was going to win over a woman, but he didn't get California. Of course, that's like I said, Washington,
He
Oregon.
didn't get Washington, California, or Oregon. He didn't get nothing on the main West Coast line. Trust me, we know we got to deal with all types of characters every week at camp.
Right. Let me play a little bit more of this.
Absolutely incredible. We did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them, and sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that. Nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators, and it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady. Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? Oh, no, she's done a great job. Works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous, and we miss very much.
So in this speech, right, we don't have to play all of it. He says he's going to fix it. He's going to heal it. Double talking. He said America's going back. Is going to be great again. That's his slogan. That's his coinery. He says that America will be in its golden age. He also talks about, that America has more oil than Russia. So he boasted over Russia. And then he talked about Iran as well. Right. So the thing about him is, especially he did thank the African American. He did thank the African American. He did. But the thing about Trump is, see, Kamala Harris, when we listen to her speech, you guys are going to see her being a covert person, as opposed to Trump is overt. I would respect it if you said, I ain't got nothing for black people, than to lie and say, I'm going to do something for black people and don't do it. That's Kamala Harris. Oh, I'm for the black people. I do believe in God, but then your policies and your legislation, all of that, your ideologies are totally against both things. As opposed to Trump, he's just blatant with it. He'll tell you those people are disgusting. I'm not going to help them people. I've done more for them black people. That's all they get. At least he's upfront. Oh, like me and how I feel about white people. I'm upfront about it. I don't lie about it. They're all going in chains. They're all going in chains. They're all complete and total pieces of trash. Go ahead, brother. Bring that out.
Yeah, I want to bring this out real quick, bro. This is in the CEB. This is in Psalms chapter 12, verse 3. Let Yahweh cut off all slick talking lips and every tongue that brags and brags.
That's him. That is Trump. Oh,
That's
look, we're
him,
so
bro.
great. We're the greatest country. I like to say that, you know, hey, that's a cut. But to my Israelites who were sad that Kamala didn't get elected, his first speech, he's going in on Russia and Iran. He could possibly turn this up rather quickly. Let me bring this scripture out real quick. Let me make sure my screen is actually fitted. Right? This is the book of Proverbs. If y'all believe in them, if you Israelites believe in the Bible, right? This is Proverbs chapter 21. And look at what verse 1 says. The king's heart. I'm going to say that again for you Israelites that was sad that Kamala didn't get elected. Hebrew Israelites in the faith. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. So the Lord, the Most High, is in control of what's going on here, right? Whether it was going to be Kamala or whether it was going to be Donald Trump, prophecies will be fulfilled under whoever. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know. Black folk must have forgot, but they don't read the Bible. And there's some white people too that was so mad. They were so mad as well. They wanted Kamala to win. The Most High rules in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Wow.
And this is a base man. This is a base man. You look at these people and you say, how the hell did they conquer us? We're stronger mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And it was because of a punishment of God that these base people were able to overthrow us. So God said he rules in the kingdom of men. He places who he wants there. He has control of their heart. They don't have free will. They're going to do his will. They're going to implement his agenda on the earth. And they're the basis of men. Right? Go ahead, brother. You had some?
And that's good what you said, brother. And because of that, our people don't understand that. It's like they want to just literally do what they want to do, to the point that they're fighting against the Most High.
Right.
Right? This is Acts chapter 5, verse 39. But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against God. So if the Most High is setting this thing up the way he wants to set it up, like Priest was saying, right? Like the prophets were saying, like the disciples were saying, like Hamashiach, Yahushua was saying, who he gets from the Most High, Yahweh, who are you to overthrow it? Who are you to be like, oh, I don't like who just became president? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? I'm about to leave the country. You got a lot of celebrities that's saying that. I'm about to flee and leave the country. Well, leave. Destruction is coming on all four corners of the earth anyway, V.
Right. Wherever
According
you run.
to 2nd Esdras 16:1. Do that if you want to. But just understand that everything is of the Most High. So instead of sitting there and being in your feelings and being emotional and being effeminate, which is not going to get you into the kingdom, and having a spirit of fear when he gave us a spirit of love and a sound mind, why not just understand that these things have to happen?
Right. Hey, get your house in order. How about that? Get your house in order. So in case Kamala was going to push the button, or in case Trump pushes the button, you're right with the Most High. You understand? Big G's, not the little one. You know what's going on.
I got to go pick up my wife, King.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate you for coming on. Big Zamron up out of that. Genesis, Seattle, Big G's, not the little one. Peace and blessings and shalom, brother.
And make sure y'all subscribe to the Genesis Israelites Seattle channel and all the Genesis Israelites, Toronto, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? We everywhere, bro. Subscribe right now. Like, share, and subscribe. Deacon Destruction Mode. All praise of the Most High. We about to continue to do this work. It don't stop. Jitchu. Love you, King.
Shalom, King. Big G's in the chat. All praises. So let's play some of this Kamala, right? So what you guys are going to hear is more uckery, right? I got to say that. More uckery. Listen to what she says in her defeat speech. I got to blow this up so you guys can hear this. Let's take a listen.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you all. Thank you. So let me say, and I love you back. So let me say, my heart is full today. Full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up and as long as we keep fighting.
What do you guys think listen, don't post too much, don't post vulgarity or obscenities in the chat. But what do you think she means by fighting for? What do you think she means by that? And she's going to tell you.
To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much.
To her white husband, she loves him very much.
To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it.
Let me play this in real time. I was playing it sped up, but just take a listen. She's like, her whole cadence and vernacular, it's like casting a spell. This is why I say she's so clandestine and surreptitious, so like smoothly deceptive, and our community gonna eat it up. Watch how I play it in real time and just just listen to this witch.
At the same time, in our nation,
It don't even seem
we
real.
owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah, she's nefarious. She's really ominous. Really ominous. But now she's saying we owe loyalty to the Constitution of the United States. Have you guys read the Constitution? Like literally, slavery is still legal in that Constitution. It was founded when we were in chains and in slavery, so it wasn't meant for us. It says no cruel punishment during a crime. But don't you think that the California jail systems that you sent thousands of black men to is a cruel system? And we should be loyal and honor that Constitution?
And loyalty to our conscience and to our God.
And to our God. What God is she talking about? Satan? Has to be, because the Bible says Satan is the God of this world. Not the Most High God. She can't be talking about the Most High God. But this is the thing. She was never religious or black until it was time to accumulate votes for this election. Yeah, which God? She's saying whoever your God is. Because watch what she says after this. She can't be talking about the God of the Bible.
My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
So she's going to tell you what her fight is for.
The fight.
Here we go.
Fight for freedom.
Here we go.
For opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people.
For fairness and the dignity of all people. You're a part of the 1%. Where the hell is all this fairness in this egalitarian society? This is a goddamn joke. At least Trump said we're gonna help fix this thing. She's sitting here lying.
A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation. The ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do.
So this is why black women are mad. Because she was going to allow you to turn your vagina into a meat stick. Or turn your meat stick into a vagina. And also get rid of the precious, our future, who was inside of you up to 6 months. Up to 6 months, she was going to allow you to get rid of our future. The leading cause of what's destroying our people. She was going to continue that and make it so accessible. So this is why the black community is mad. This is why Facebook is mad at me. Matter of fact, I'm going to go post that on Facebook right now. Let's make them even more mad. I've been going viral all day on Facebook. Right? Let's talk about it. Let's keep playing.
We will have the freedom to make decisions, aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do. We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence. And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld. And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways.
In quieter ways?
In how we live.
What are you saying? You're going to have a secret state where you can go and turn things into a meat stick or get rid of, you know, babies? You're going to have a secret city somewhere in America? Because you say you're going to fight quietly. You have a secret city in America where you can go get a meat stick? Or you can go ghost a baby? What do you mean by that?
Our lives by treating one another with kindness and respect, by looking in the face of a stranger and seeing a neighbor, by always using our strength.
She was so tired of being black. She was so tired of being black. And when she seen Trump had that 270, there was a sigh of relief. Right? Let's take a look at this, though. Let's take a look at this. Just got some new. This just in. This just in. Let me go here real quick.
Are you tired of flipping houses?
Different roles, so that's what you have. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think identity should even matter at all. Like, it should not be
using it as a crutch. They're trying to say because she's black. They're trying to say because she's a woman. I love Tulsi Gabbard, and I personally wouldn't mind if she was in a higher position than she is now. Personally, they need to make her Secretary of State something.
Yes.
And then that goes into the identity politics and all that. Why are you allowing who you are and your being to hinder you, or you think that it's hindering you from getting to a certain position? And then to speak about policy, as soon as Joe Biden got out the race and they said it was Kamala Harris, she didn't even make an announcement, and there were already Black women, Hispanic women, gay people literally raising millions and billions of dollars for her with not one policy on her website. She just put policies on her website. Now, granted,
That was smart. She knows her audience.
Well, that's what the sister said. I think she was a Hebrew Israelite sister too. Says she voted for Kamala Harris because she chose the right hot sauce. Hit that like button, like, share, and subscribe.
They're dumb.
She knows her audience. She knows like she didn't have no policy.
Jordan, wait. Let Gypsy, because Gypsy's mic been coming. Go ahead.
When it was rumored that Biden was going to step down, Black women pressured him to bring a Black woman candidate, which was going to be Kamala. Now, when it comes to her race, she would technically be the tragic mulatto. She would be the biracial. She's not Black, and Black is not just skin color. It's also a status in America. So when people are saying,
Bro, this is why sometimes I say women shouldn't even talk, bro. She's not mulatto.
and she
Like,
hasn't been
fuck
through the
you
black
talking about?
struggle, poverty,
Wait, so Kanye West ain't black? What are you talking about?
disenfranchisement, those type of things, we had already gotten that out the way. She was born in 1960, 65. The Civil Rights Bill passed, so she never went through any of that, and then she moved out of the country, so she really never experienced what we went through. And her being, she said she was middle class, she was rich, upper middle class, or even wealthy, because her mom came from a rich Indian family, a high-ranking Indian. Her dad came from slave owners. So what got me was when Beyonce was endorsing Kamala on stage, she said 248 years or 247 years, something to that effect, as if she's been through what Black people historically have been through. And to me, that was very offensive, because 247 years ago, her family was still enslaving people.
Right. Especially on the islands.
Even after they freed the slaves, after fighting to keep them, they made them house servants. That's who's in those pictures that she's claiming is her grandparents. Those are your mammies, your caregivers. And about the greens, we did wash our greens in a tub, but it was not a bathtub. It was a metal bowl pan that sat outside that you washed your vegetables in. You brought them in clean. I don't care if you got 10,000 pounds of greens to wash, you're not washing them in a bathtub. And the fact that people, like I say, if Black people or white people or anybody that votes for Trump is a racist or sexist or a misogynist or like any of those things, then the people who vote for Kamala are washing their greens for Thanksgiving in the bathtub. Like,
I like
we
that.
can accept being what we are, what y'all want to call us, but you're gonna have to do the what I call it, bathtub greens with a side of bacon. We don't need to put bacon in our greens, and it's not a big deal, but it is, because you haven't even taken the time to go experience the culture to try to mock it. It's like you're reading it out of like a sitcom or something.
Right.
That's exactly what she's doing. Somebody in her administration tried to get somebody from down south who thought they knew the culture and try to hip her to it, and that went horribly wrong.
Also, to add, Trump is our only president whose family never owned slaves. If we so caught up in this racist talk and this person racist and that person racist, let's talk about it. He's the only president we had that don't come from a history of having slaves.
So does that mean he's not racist? What? It doesn't matter. His people collectively put us in captivity. He would not be where he is in life if it wasn't for the free slave labor here in America, where they got a 400-year head start and privilege and opportunity. If it wasn't for his people enslaving, even though if it might not have been his direct lineage.
Kamala Harris' family owned slaves. The plantation is still there today.
Yes, you're right. They're both the devil.
Brownstown Plantation in Brownstown, Jamaica.
And that's why they say he's KK.
This is why I say this just looks so bad. This minstrel show of arguing over who's giving them the most crumbs. They're not doing nothing real for us.
KKK, they will never say he came from slave owners.
Everybody's KKK to Black people.
Right.
And every white person is a KKK to Black people. Black people need healing.
I don't believe, but
what I think need to stop is, I think BET need to stop showing Django. I think BET need to stop showing
take it all out.
Because those type of shows leave you mentally enslaved. And it lowers your vibration. I feel like it's a strategic move by the Democratic Party that's in Hollywood to put these type of movies on slaves to remind us, if y'all ever get out of line, look where you came from. Because they do not have to show that. They do not have to show that as our history.
Well, it keeps me angry. I like it. You got to know who your enemy is. You're saying stop showing it. You want us to be oblivious to the enemy.
Our history goes
I think they need to show that, and they need to show where we was kings.
way far back. And even if you want to say, okay, well, this is the American history, we still got some good things that we've done in America where we do not have to show Jamie Foxx balls about to get cut off in the movie. That's just insane. It's
No, they said America was never great for Black people.
Oh,
So
Madam C.J. Walker, she was the
never great
first
for
Black
us.
woman that was a millionaire. Madam C.J. Walker. Most people don't know about her either. She was the first
America has been
millionaire.
great to me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. She's disgusting. She's absolutely a piece of garbage. She just said, America has been great to me. Okay. Well, go out with a white woman and you guys do the same thing and see who gets discriminated against. So you have an experience. Let's say America has been great to her. Let's say that. What about your people? Has it been great to your people? This is the selfish shit. This is a dog eat dog community, the Black community. Crabs in a barrel community. Not caring about who put the crabs in the barrel. Not caring about us as a collective. Let's keep going.
I don't know what the hell anybody's talking about. I was born in 1986. From the time I was born, my whole childhood up to now, I have been happy. I have been healthy. I have been free. I have been able to eat what I want, say what I want, go where I want. And I've never had no white person come up to me and say anything racist to me.
Can I ask a question?
Bruh, this is triggering.
In America was from Black people.
I don't know
Can I
why.
ask a question to the panel?
That's so fact.
Just to, real quick, just to ask everybody, do y'all think part of this is because like the younger generation, like Gen Z, because we grew up with the internet and we get so much thrown at us at one time? Do you think that has anything to do with how the race tension has risen since I think like 2015 has really gotten really tense? Do you think the internet has anything to do with that?
I feel like it contributes to short attention spans. They don't think. They look at a 10-second clip and think that they know everything about a person.
I just feel like every time.
She said she can go where she want. Go where they're still hanging niggas at down south. Go there. Go to some of these white neighborhoods. You say you can go wherever you want. You're free as a bird. Go try to take over 10 racks out your bank. Go try to leave the country without a passport. You're not free anything. Try not to pay taxes. You're not free. Your ass is a slave still.
And like Morgan Freeman said, and I'm a true believer of this, and I was called a bootlicker, whatever, because I said this. I honestly think they need to get rid of Black History Month because they're not showing anything that's really positive. I'm so tired of seeing the same slave movies over and over. Rosewood, Django, Roots. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying?
I like
these are the things.
It's a good movie, but it does get you fiery. Let's be real. Like I was angry.
It messes up your vibration. It makes you mentally angry. And when you see after you watch that movie, you go outside and you see a white person, you looking like I want revenge. It's purposely made to make you feel like that. That's how you keep the country divided. The longer we stay divided, the more the government wins. If we come together, they cannot defeat us.
And this is exactly why Kamala Harris did not get the goddamn presidency. Can you imagine that? Do you hear what's going on? Listen. Oh God. Now they're gonna say I sound like Trump. Trump is the goddamn devil that the Bible. If you're just now tuning in, Trump is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. Let's just off the bat, right? So is Kamala. But this panel is confusion. It's absolute confusion. We need to get rid of Black History Month. We need to not think about what happened to us. That's gonna make you want justice. She just said that we shouldn't get justice for what happened to us. Oh, it was some. This is confusing, and nobody's sitting on here holding her accountable. They're all saying facts. Yeah, facts. This is why God said, no, Kamala will not be heading a country where there's Black people in it.
They know it. That's why the Democratic Party run off of separation and racism. That's
This is all made up. Like the reaction they want from us it's like we give them, whether we're on one side or the other side. This is all made
Well,
up.
you can
Like
blame white
the
liberals for
internet
that.
is not a real place. Like that's what people need to go out and touch grass. Like,
Yeah, but
oh,
the
I see
internet
this.
Bruh. She just said we all need to go ground. She just said we all need to go ground. What kind of panel is this? So now we just everything is made up. Nothing's going to happen. No, there's systemic racism. I guess systemic racism, institutional racism doesn't exist. We just need to go ground and touch grass. And guess what? Touching some goddamn grass is niggas already touching grass. Niggas is smoking grass. Right? That's not gonna make give us legislations and policies that is gonna help our community.
It's a
10
real
second,
place
and I know
for this
everything
generation,
and
though.
Kamala and blah blah.
We
and
gotta
Trump.
call it what it is.
It's
The
not
internet
real. Like
is
it's people
wrong
on the
place.
internet talking, saying their dissertation. Like go read a book, go get an education, learn
The
something
problem
that's
is the
real.
books are indoctrination too. You can't
I was
just
about to say that
read a
they're
book
ran by
because
leftist
every
institutions.
every book is not gonna
But
educate
it's
you.
also
CRT is
And
a
the
real
one movie
thing.
that I read,
CRT is a real thing.
Hold on.
But with
Sisterhood is one of the movies
CRT,
I would say is a historic. That is more based on history. The other stuff is all, to me, it's a fantasy because my family didn't come from slaves. They came from sharecroppers. They were here before the white people came. They were already here. My grandma's family are indigenous to North Carolina. That's where I'm from. I did my mail-in ballot because I live in Minneapolis right now. But my family are Lumbee Indians, and so they were never nobody's slave. They still have. They just got rid of some of the land, the last bit of their land, because nobody wanted to keep up with it. But what it does is it teaches you that you were slaves, whether you were or not. It just puts you in a lower class, which is why Black is more of a class than just a race. Because anybody, an African, can come to America and say they're Black. In America, yes, you are Black, but you also don't have the same history as the real Black people. So now we don't go by Black no more. We go by BIPOC and we go by people of color, because what they want to do is mix everybody in so that when they do have to finally give Black people what they owe them, they can give it to everybody, and then they can just fuck us over one more time, again and again and again and again.
Well,
All right, let me hold on, y'all.
Hold on. You just said you were Indian and you said us as Black.
I'm gonna come to you, Jordan. Alicia, what are your thoughts on all of this? Because I see facial expressions, but I don't necessarily see you jumping in. Let me get your thoughts.
No, I'm not gonna interrupt. It's just the stuff I'm hearing. I just never heard it before. I'm sorry, but
like what?
It was a couple of things. The first thing was, I think,
get her.
Gypsy said something about Black not being a color, right? Like, well, Black that's exactly what it is. That's what you present yourself to in society. So that kind of threw me off. And then getting rid of like all of our historical movies as though it didn't happen, right? If it angers you or enrages you, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Just if you
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash.
Get her. We want her to get them girls.
Still a part of your history. You can't just erase it.
Amistad is not real. There was never a ship that traveled from Africa to America. They didn't have ships.
So how do we
carry
that? This is very triggering. So we didn't come on slave ships.
So how did we get here to share your land with your family?
That story, everybody has their own flavor in that story, right? At the end of the day, we know the slavery did happen.
People
regardless
did come,
if
but
we
it
were
wasn't
shipped
the
here.
millions. It's not the millions that they
regardless
said it
if we were shipped here, regardless if we were here already, regardless whatever, it happened. But the movies we get it, we got it. You don't have to keep showing it. We understand what happened. Give us something. Okay, give us something. Why is it a movie showing you how you beat the shit out of us? And then you gotta understand.
Bug broke our Black men.
Everybody
Black
is
is
not
color.
as
Black
sane
is
as
the
Alicia.
absence of color.
You understand? Everybody is not mentally sane. Let me get
absence of light. I'm sorry. Black is the absence of light. It's not a real color. It's not a real pigment.
We're all bro. Now Black is not a color. Yo, I don't know anything else to say other than black people have to die. And I can say that as the most pro-black nigga on the planet. I'm more pro-black than Charleston White. Al Sharpton, all of our black leaders, the Hebrew Israelite leaders, are the most pro-black and brown leaders on the earth. Not just me, all the leaders in our community. And we all stand in one accord and say, black people gotta die, man. They have to die and be reborn with a new mind. Oh, Lord in Christ. I blame Adam. That's right, sister. I blame Adam for this. Adam messed it up for everybody. And now we have this panel here.
Hey, the week.
And I'm a cosmetologist, so when we really want to talk about like color, we can get real like technical about it. Yes, in America, black is a race and it's also a class, but it's not a real color. Real colors are red, blue, and yellow. And they make
technically a shade.
So what I feel about the movie thing, Alicia, everybody's not sane like you. You understand what I'm saying? So you got this movie on television. All types of people are watching this movie. You got people that's not right in the head. You got people that just don't get that it's just a movie at this moment. You know what I'm saying? Some people take Hollywood magic real seriously and they get hypnotized into the television. You understand what I'm saying? So you showing this to white folk, you showing this to black folk, because white people watch BET too. Then you put them in schools together. Now everybody, yeah. The white man this, the white man that, black people this, oh, you was my slave. Now everybody throwing shots at each other and they want to fight. Why? Because your frequency's so fucked up. You done showed.
They did that without the movies. They did that without Hollywood. Even if Hollywood shut down, white people are going to do that anyway, and we're going to remember that. It's called generational trauma and generational benefits. Generational privilege and generational trauma. The history is not going to be erased because we turn the TV off. And this is why nobody voted for Kamala. She can't fix this. Y'all can't even fix the conversation right now. Get your ass in the kitchen and scrub the.
They don't know how to read. They don't know how to read. If you are educated, if you get an education, you take your education seriously. I don't even mean you have to go to college or the traditional American education. If you just pick up a book.
Hey, I love you, sisters. I love you, sisters. All right. I love my sisters. I'll kill for them. I'll die for them. But all these right here, these ones, they're not Hebrew Israelites in the faith. I'm not talking to my Hebrew Israelite sisters in the faith who are in the chat, who are some of the best sisters on the earth, right? Wise mentally. I'm talking about these worldly women right here. Shut up. Get your ass in the kitchen. 6 burners, 2 stoves, toaster oven, air fryer. Deal with all that. You understand? Blender, juicers. Deal with that. Let's keep going.
Book from different perspectives. Who cares if it's CRT? Who cares? Just pick up a book and get different perspectives. It can be from a racist white man. It can be from a progressive black woman. Read both perspectives. So when you see a movie like Django and all the other things that they want us to consume, you can at least see it and not get so emotional. Because yes, it did happen, but the problem is these people don't know how to read. Yeah, our children don't know how to read.
Yeah, we really just don't have minds of our.
Now listen, all right, look, you sisters watching right now, don't try to cater to me or tell me what I want to hear. But are they cooking? I want to know from the sisters in the chat. We're not going to mock you or scorn you or anything. Are these sisters on the screen, are they cooking right now? I just want to know. Maybe I'm tripping. Are they cooking? Put a 1 in the chat if they're cooking. Put a 2 in the chat if it's damn confusion. I want to hear the sisters. I could be tripping. Okay. Like I said, I could be wrong. Y'all don't have to agree with me on all things. I appreciate you, sisters. Because I can't get it. Maybe I'm older or something. Or maybe I'm too technical. Maybe I'm too wise and educated. I can't get this shit. It's not. They're mixing. The shit is all messed up. They're mixing the tomato sauce with the Alfredo sauce. How the fuck you gonna mix the tomato sauce with the Alfredo sauce? You know, it's not hitting. It's not cohesive. It's not real motion. It's not flowing. It's not fluent.
You understand what I'm saying?
We're not making decisions.
That's you, because your education and you smart to understand. You don't get sucked into Hollywood hypnosis. You have to understand that we're in America and we rank at the bottom in education. You understand? So you got people that just don't have it to understand, like, okay, let me just go read a book, or let me understand that this is just a television show. Let me separate reality from what I just seen on television, because we're not slaves anymore.
But what I'm saying is that's the problem. And coming from an outside perspective, you're looking at an outsider who's a raging liberal, whatever, progressive, 20 years old. You have on one side, they relate to that. Like, I actually believe they're genuine in saying Kamala's a Black woman. I really agree with her policies, whatever they are. Don't know. They can't explain it to me. But I believe they're actually genuine. I don't think they're BSing us saying Kamala is best for this country. I may disagree with them. I forgot where I was going with that. But if you don't have the education to back that up, or
I almost cussed.
They're gonna believe whatever.
I almost just cussed out. I almost just really said a loud curse word. She did all that talking. Where's my earphones at? I almost broke these damn earphones. She did all that talking, then said, "I forgot where I." She did all that talking. I almost broke these earphones. She did all that talking and then said, "I forgot where I was going with this." Because women just want to talk. I mean, there's a lot of niggas that want to talk, but look, shout out to my wives. I love my wives, but I shout out to my wives. I love my wives, right? But there's one or two of them, right, that I timed it. I didn't say nothing. I timed it. I literally timed it. So however long it takes for you to get to Tacoma to Puyallup, there's a highway and a freeway and many exits. And we're just on the phone. I was like, all right, look, in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to sit on the phone and see how long she talks without me saying anything, without her saying, "You hear what I'm saying, honey? You get what I'm saying, honey? You feel what I'm saying? You understand how you think about that?" I just let her talk the whole time, and you can bet every dollar in your account the whole time. It was probably like 17 minutes. 17 minutes. Uninterrupted. So my wives can never say I cut them off. Right. But sometimes I do. The Water Eternal for the super chat donation. Greatly appreciate you, my dear beloved brother. So she loved hearing herself talk and forgot what she was even talking about. Let's go.
That's why you have all these people, all these young Gen Z people who can't give you a sentence of what Kamala's policies are and why they support them. They can't give you any reason.
I like that.
It's just basic
I like
or broad.
that.
They
I
can't
like
give
that.
you a reason.
I like
Because
that.
they're not educated.
I'm sorry, but to
That's
piggyback
true.
off what you're saying, Miss Jordan, I also think that we need to take into account that, especially like you picking off what you said about how our children can't read, it is the worst in the Black and brown community. It just is. And like they've always said back in the day, the best way to, like, what are some of the ways to keep a slave? They didn't let them read. So what's going on? Kids cannot read. So they're just being told what's happening and people are just agreeing with them. They can't, they're not doing the research themselves. And I'm not saying that they can't, but let's be honest about the culture that it is not pushed. Like if we're being honest about it, like the stereotype Asians, how they study more, they tend to be more better in academics than any other kind of race, even compared to white people. So it also goes back to culture, and that's why we need to push better culture. That's why we need fathers in the home so that they can push, okay, mommy and daddy are home, somebody's gonna sit down with you, help you with your homework. It doesn't happen a lot. There's only one parent in the household. So I feel like we also have to take that to account. Like I said, out of my whole neighborhood, out of my whole entire school, I was the only person that got into one of the top schools in Philadelphia. So if we put that into perspective, like I said, I grew up in North Philly. I grew up in the worst city. Literally, drug dealers would hide drugs in my neighborhood. Like we were not allowed to go outside. That's how bad it was. But thank God I grew up in a culture where I was pushed, my academics were pushed. I can't say the same for everybody else around me. Oh, you trying to be white? Why are you trying to be educated? It's a culture problem. So it also does go back to culture, and we have to take that into account. Like you said, a lot of people, our kids cannot read. COVID has a very big part to do with that, especially our kids being locked in the house for 2 years. But again, we need to push a better culture. And I feel like people need to push that, oh, it's not white.
What culture? What culture? What culture? Now listen, what she's saying is good. Right track. She's on the right track. But where's the train at? Because you're saying, all right, we need this track. We need this track. Great track. We can get this track. We're going to lay it all out in this direction. And this track is going to go all the way that way. But what train? What? Yeshaya Atlas. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But that is, she's right. We have to push better culture. But our culture was stripped from us. And if our culture is stripped from us, then all we have is what they gave us. So which part of their culture are you talking about we should push? Now, we do have a culture. We do have a culture, and that is Hebrew Israelites. We are Hebrew Israelites. Oh, it's almost over, y'all. It's almost over, right? 4 more minutes. I want to hear the whole thing. The culture we should be pushing to our people is the Bible, because that's our heritage. That's our culture. And if we just live by those principles, our communities will be 1,000 times better. Simple and plain. Very simple. Easy fix. But the Negro and the brown man is hard-headed. And they reject God. That's why the Bible says they have set at naught all his counsel. They have despised the counsel of the Most High.
It's not white assimilation to be educated. Black people can be educated, Hispanics, Asians, whatever. But statistically, Black and brown people tend to do worse. We are the worst uneducated. We are the most uneducated people. So yes, it goes back to culture.
And that's our own fault.
Black is at the bottom, white is at the top. That's why they say you're acting white.
White people are not at the top. White people are in the middle.
We know that. We know that. But the perception
talking about
they're at the top.
Yo, this girl in the middle just said white people are not at the top. Native Americans are at the top. See, if I was to do a panel like this, I would allow it just for diversity of my channel and platform, but I wouldn't be involved in it. Ain't no way. I couldn't sit there and just say, where's my thing at? Where's my thing at real quick?
Shut your black mouth, you liar. Shut your black mouth.
Just talking
perception and the
about
culture.
the placement in society. Just like she said, Asians, they study more. That's because they come from a culture where once you fail your grade, once you're doing bad in school, they put you in a factory. They have child labor in China. So they come
Tiger
here,
moms, that's a real thing.
They're
Tiger
fighting for
moms.
their lives. They're fighting for their lives. And it's not just black and brown that can't read. None of the kids can read. It's not just the black schools that are doing bad. All of the schools are. Unless you're in a school where the teacher is a small classroom, the kids that are better off that do well have tutors. I was paying $500 a month for my son to have a tutor, just so that he could catch up because of COVID. So it's not just we have to fix our culture. It's
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying. Okay, I picked up the car a few months ago, and watch this. Ready? $97 premium, $20 were my fees, $118.
a lot of hillbillies out there. It's a lot of poor white.
And you invest it into your child too. You
Statistically, we're talking about black and brown.
You spend $500 a month and you invest it into your child. These parents are not doing that.
And some people can't.
They spending the $500 on Jordans. That's what they spending that $500
Thank you,
on.
Crystal.
I'm a union worker, so
You know how many times
With the child tax credit.
Do well is socioeconomic status. You can take two black people. It's not dependent on whether they're black. It's dependent on their socioeconomic, what they grew up with. So I'm just trying to figure that out. And keep saying black kids can't read, no kids can read. I'm just thinking.
Sorry, comment on that.
America being ranked lowest low on the totem pole as far as like the global world on education does not just equal black and brown kids not being able to read. That's the system, period. And it's a lot of adults that graduated college that are dumb. I work with them every day.
I guess my point of bringing that up is because if we're starting the conversation off saying, well, Kamala's able to pander to black and brown people, then we have to look at that segment of people, which is why I'm saying, okay, these black kids, whether they grew up rich or poor, they're both voting for her. And it has to be, it's not, when I'm saying education, I'm not talking about middle school, high school. I'm not talking about the traditional American education system. I'm talking about getting outside, picking up a book, having conversations with people.
Yeah, we should pick up a book. That's true. Pick up the good
What's
book.
going on, friends? Is
Pick up the good book, damn it. Pick up the good book.
President of the United States of America.
Okay. Let's take a listen to this real quick.
I have friends. Donkey of the day for Wednesday, November 6th. I don't even really have a donkey of the day.
Okay, this is Charlemagne the God. Check this out, y'all.
Just want to talk to us, my fellow Americans. Listen, America has spoken, and they spoke loud and clear. Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States of America. I have friends on the right. I have friends on the left. I have friends that are independents. And regardless of who we all decided to vote for yesterday, guess what? Donald Trump is now all of our president again. I don't want to fight anyone. I don't want to argue with anyone because at the end of the day, we are all Americans and we all want what's best for this country. I hope. Okay, I know today Democrats are going to be looking for someone to blame. Let me be the first to tell you it's not just one thing. I personally feel like Donald Trump speaks to people's grievances better than Democrats do. I know people are going to talk about misinformation and the dumbing down of society. I understand all of that, but you don't have to be intelligent to know you can't pay your bills. You don't have to be intelligent to know you can't afford groceries. People will forget what you did. They will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And to millions of Americans, tens of millions of Americans, they simply felt financially better when Trump was in office. I don't think it's fair to just chalk up, Trump winning to racism, sexism, homophobia, anti-Semitism. Yes, he tapped into all of the worst things America has ever had to offer. And there are a lot of people who agree with his rhetoric and voted for him because of those reasons. But I truly believe most people voted for him because they want more money in their pocket and they want to feel safe. Look, I know the economy does better under Democrat presidents, but Democrats haven't been able to make the American people believe that. I know the border is a bipartisan issue, but Democrats spend a lot of time acting like it wasn't an issue.
You're not a child, you're a man. So stop wearing so many skin tactical.
Democrats created the sanctuary cities. Democrats told them to come on in. Meanwhile, Republicans were putting migrants on buses and planes and sending them to those sanctuary cities, and then Democrats had to change course. But it might have been too little too late, because at the end of the day, once again, when you see all that money going to migrants, going to the border issue, all you can think to yourself is they have billions for that, but aren't making investments into the communities right here in America. You see homeless people everywhere. You don't have no money in your pocket. You don't know how you're going to pay your bills. You face an eviction. Listen, I'm not saying Trump is going to fix all of that. All I'm saying is Donald Trump has made people feel like he will fix all that in a way that Democrats haven't. Once again, don't just chalk it up to racism, sexism. Okay, I believe those things play a role, but at the end of the day, it's the economy, stupid. And Democrats might just be really out of touch with what everyday Americans are feeling. Now, I didn't want to come on here today and be all doom and gloom. I have absolutely zero reason to believe Donald Trump is going to be a president that brings people together. But I'm going to be optimistic because I don't know any other way to be. I hope this isn't the beginning of Donald Trump's revenge tour. I hope this is the golden age of America, as he said. I hope all the nut-ass things Trump said he was going to do, he doesn't do, because one thing Vice President Kamala Harris said repeatedly is Trump has an enemies list. I have a to-do list. There is a lot of things that need to be done in America, and I hope he gets to it.
Nigga crying. Nigga crying for real, right? That boy crying for why you always crying. Baby, when you're crying, I get so tired. Oh my God.
A well-educated black.
Puerto Rico. These are animals.
Look at my African American over here.
When he talks that way, the way he did on this tape, it confirmed that he is truly a racist.
A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white. A black may think that they don't really have the advantage. If I was starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black.
They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians. It would be 9 black.
Bro, why did this devil just sit up there and say, if you get an educated black and an educated white, the black would get more of the privilege or more of benefits. If I was starting off today, I'd like to be a black. We all know that Trump has, and this is what I say, y'all. We know how evil he is, but at least he's open about it, as opposed to Kamala. Even them sisters on that panel said, we asked these sisters why they're voting for her. They just say because she's a woman and she's got color. They don't know any of her policies, any of her plans, any of her ideologies.
Blacks against 9 whites, all highly educated, very smart, strong, beautiful people, right?
Pocahontas? Is it offensive? Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Pocahontas? I think she's as Native American as I am, okay? When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. I want surveillance of certain mosques. Negotiating with China. They say, we want deal.
I'm asking for the vote of every single African American citizen in this country. What do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
Oh man, I just want white people to be able to laugh like how I'm laughing about his disdain towards us. I want you guys to laugh when I say the same stuff about you. You see how strong we are? We just laugh at that. We know he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. And it's because of his people that we are disenfranchised, marginalized, vexed, stressed, and perplexed at the bottom of Sodom, right? But that's the caucasity. That's the caucasity that they have, right?
African American over here. Look at him.
We are from India. All of my friends in Little Havana. We are also praying for the people of Puerto Rico. We love Puerto Rico. And we also love Puerto Rico. Come here. You're not nervous, right? Speaks perfect English.
No, I'm not a racist. I am the least racist person that I can tell you.
He said he's the least racist person that I can tell you. You are the devil. He called it wet Tarico. Now that was so insulting. Yeah, we know we're dealing with the devil. We know what fire looks like. At least you should know. But if you don't, go ahead. Get your silly ass burnt. Yeah, fire was invented long ago. And we all know how it looks now, right? So let's go to another one here. Let's
talk about George Floyd. You said George Floyd's death was a terrible thing.
Terrible.
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
God, he's so stupid.
Let's talk about George Floyd. You said George Floyd's death was a terrible thing.
Terrible.
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
He's so stupid.
George Floyd's death was a terrible.
She didn't ask you that. She asked you why. When we reach for our wallet and cell phone, police kill us and get complete immunity. That's the question she was asking. You didn't answer that. You don't care. And we need people like you just to show stupid black people who our enemy is. We need you and all your followers to have the same mind as you, right? And he said more white people. Yes, more white people do die because there's millions and millions and 100 millions more here. If we're talking about per capita, no. Right? Just so you guys can see. Just so you guys can see.
At the University of Wyoming,
is racist. Saying a Mexican judge can't be fair because of his heritage is racist. Saying immigrants from Mexico are rapists is racist. Saying there were good people on both sides in Charlottesville is racist. Calling African countries shithole countries is racist. And telling 4 members of this body to go home is racist.
Gentleman will state his.
Do you think it's not racist?
Gentleman will state his point of order.
Do you think it's not
So
racist?
the gentleman will suspend. Gentleman will state his
Is that
point
what
of
you're saying right now, Mr. Collins?
Gentleman will suspend.
Mr. Collins, is
Gentleman
it not
from-
racist to say these things? Because you can say that right now.
The gentleman from California is out of order. The gentleman from gentleman from California shall suspend.
That's right.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Georgia write?
A house divided cannot stand. Let's go.
Make a point of order. The gentleman's words are unparliamentary, and I request they be taken down.
President Trump's words. Trump's words.
Order.
Clerk will report the words.
He was hitting them with the facts. He was hitting them with the facts.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery.
No.
We had
no.
Jim Crow for almost.
When you say we, your people, your East Indians, they were good. They weren't involved. They were actually had some slaves over in the islands. Let's stop playing this game. You understand that? And you didn't start identifying as black until now.
Almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country.
Yeah, and your family had slaves.
And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
No.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
Wow. Wow.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
Wow.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
Damn. Yeah, you have it. See that? You got one who's a open piece of garbage, and you got one who's a secretly piece of garbage, and that's Kamala.
Should not vote for her. What is Kamala Harris going to do as president? We have no idea because she hasn't told us. She's used a lot of empty rhetoric to hide who she really is, which is the most radical leftist senator in the U.S. Senate prior to ascending to the vice presidency. She has disavowed few, if any, of her almost Marxist or actual Marxist positions. A few years ago, when she was running for president in 2019, she said she wanted to ban fracking. Now she says she won't. A few years ago, she wanted to take away your private health insurance and put us all on the government dole. Now she says she doesn't. A few years ago, she said she wanted to ban gas-powered cars. Now she says she doesn't, though she and her boss have got that in the works already for the mid-2030s. Positions she is still on record to this moment as holding, like currently, include taxpayer-funded sex change operations for illegal immigrants and prisoners, a ban on some portion of our red meat offerings, a ban on offshore drilling. Potentially, she's tried to walk that back, though without explanation. She wants those in the fossil fuel industry to transition out to something else. She wants to eliminate the filibuster to pass the radical Green New Deal. She wants to eliminate the filibuster to pass an abortion rights bill. Eliminating the filibuster changes the U.S. Senate forevermore. Let me just say something, okay, about the abortion. Okay, we talked about it on Friday, but I need you to understand this. To my pro-choice friends who think she's going to pass a national abortion rights bill, which she is not. She cannot. She is not. I explained it on Friday, but she's not. She can't. Let me explain to you the only way that she could possibly do that. The only possible way. The Democrats are about to lose control of the Senate in all likelihood. But let's just say they hold on.
They did.
You know, a senator or two.
No, they lost the Senate.
The only way they can get rid of the filibuster is to vote, we're getting rid of the filibuster, and then to change the standard for a vote in the Senate to just 51 votes. Right now, you can't get a vote on any legislation unless you have 60. And neither side ever has 60. And that ensures minority rights in the Senate, which may be annoying when you're in the majority, but you love when your party's in the minority. If they change it to just a 51 vote threshold, even if they limit it to just on abortion rights, as she's saying, what do you think that does? Let's assume that they have the congressional power to actually pass an abortion rights bill, which they don't. See my Friday show. They don't. They don't have the constitutional ability to do that in Congress and the presidency, and it will be struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court as an excess. This is not a federal matter. It's a states' rights matter. If you care about abortion, vote for a pro-choice governor and pro-choice state legislators. This is not a federal thing. It should not affect your presidential vote. But in any event, let's say she wins. She pushes through an abortion rights bill in the U.S. Congress, including the U.S. Senate, by just 51 votes. Let's say somehow they withstand a legal challenge to that bill. And the Supreme Court says, you know what, you do have the power to do it. Great, you've got your bill. And the Roe regime is now established in all 50 states. Okay, great. The Democrats are thrilled. The Republicans are miserable. They can't believe this has happened. We're back to the Roe regime. All the states that have harsher limits now, 6-week bans, done. We're at the Roe regime where it's determined by viability around 24 weeks. Before that, you can't ban it. And whatever limitations were in place around Roe could stand potentially during the Roe years. What do you think they've just opened the door for? To my pro-choice friends, what do you think they have just opened the door for? That behavior is an acknowledgement that abortion can be regulated at the federal level and that nationwide policy can be set by the party in control with just a 51 vote majority in the Senate. Do you really think there will be no time in the future in which we have a Republican pro-life president and a Republican majority in the Senate and a Republican majority in the House that might be inclined to pass a nationwide ban? Do you really think that's such an impossibility that you want to get rid of minority rights in the Senate, which means getting rid of the filibuster? You want to take that gamble? Right now, the majority of states still allow abortion, still follow the Roe regime. A handful of small, deep red states have gone much more restrictive on it. And the women in those states will have to make a choice about leaving, if this is a big issue for them, getting abortion drugs mailed to them, or just traveling to another state if they want an abortion. But the vast majority of women in America will have absolutely no trouble procuring an abortion now. But if the Democrats, including Kamala Harris, get rid of the filibuster in the Senate and say they can take a vote on abortion with just 51 votes and manage to pass a national abortion regime, they have opened the door. They have greenlit.
We always suspected he was lying, but now I can certainly confirm that. Man, oh man, Judge Joe Brown, I'm so glad that you guys love that.
So this is where I believe Candace Owens goes into her being Jewish, right? Let's play this.
We always suspect. I gave you guys so much content yesterday. It was so great to sit down with Judge Joe Brown. Really just incredible. Even the stuff he told me off record, which was even crazier than what he told me on record. Anyways, obviously the theme of this investigative series has been identity crisis. There are people that are just pretending to be somebody that they definitely are not. And so I have to say that I can think of nothing more fitting than the news that Eminem is going to open for Barry Soetoro tonight or in Detroit on behalf of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. All of these people are just playing pretend, and you're never going to guess what has happened this time. So a woman that lives in Canada who is related to Kamala Harris reached out to me about their family, and this woman has kept records dating back to the 17th century. I'm not kidding. When I saw this document, I was like, I just need to get my life together because this woman knows her ancestry in a way that is just impressive. She was so thorough. And she has confirmed that Kamala and Donald are certainly lying about at least one aspect of their heritage. They're hiding something. Stay tuned and welcome back to Candace.
For those who don't know, the way you determine your ethnicity in God's eyes is by your father.
I'm so glad that you guys loved that episode yesterday. He really just has so much.
It's patrilineal.
Anything. I have to go back and watch the episode because he was dropping so many gems about history. And I think if nothing else, for those of you that are kind of just awakening and realizing that everything that we're told in history books is really just a fairy tale, I hope that it starts you on your journey of just pursuing truth, because we know nothing about real history. We don't even know anything about how and why America became America. We love this story about the founding fathers. In reality, it was Freemasons that were battling for America, and Freemasons that are likely very much still in charge of America. But parking all of that aside, I want to jump right back into Kamala's genealogy, which was the reason that I had him on. I didn't expect him to go into just casually how they shot MLK Jr. and he was on the case. And then he didn't say this on the show. They tried to kill him for looking into the case and realizing that obviously James Earl did not shoot Martin Luther King. The feds did. They murdered him because he was galvanizing masculinity. He was galvanizing men who could potentially stand up to the government. But anyways, the purpose of me having him on, among very many other things, was because he was a straight shooter on the topic of Kamala Harris, the topic of how she really came up in politics, a really gross manner of coming up in politics, how she's really just been lazy and done nothing. Very interesting that he added that she kind of took care of things for George Soros. I found that to be very interesting and compelling, because we know that her father, as her family members have said to me, her father, Donald Harris, is a dyed-in-the-wool communist, attended Marxist meetings his entire life. He's incredibly secretive. And now I can confirm that he has lied. I mean, we always suspected it when he said, heritage unknown to me about his grandmother. We always suspected he was lying, but now I can certainly confirm that to you, and I'm going to tell you how. So we had done this show a couple of weeks ago where we briefly touched upon the fact that there was some evidence, some strong evidence that pointed to the fact that somewhere along the line, Kamala had Jewish ancestors. Specifically, we had said that her great-grandfather was potentially Jewish, and that we knew that her great-grandfather's brother, which would have been like her great-great-uncle, whatever it was a man named Michael Harris, who was registered as a Freemason in Jamaica. And we sort of parked that aside because, of course, a lot of swirling questions. First and foremost, I guess if you go long enough into anybody's ancestry, everybody becomes everything, right? You can say, oh, yeah, and then on this side of the family, if you trace it, this person's English and Jewish, whatever. But I couldn't, I guess, come to a conclusion in my own mind as we've been doing this series. And I know you guys are probably thinking the same thing. Why is Kamala hiding aspects of her heritage? Like, why would you need to hide that you're Jewish? It doesn't make any sense. We just had Trump in office. Ivanka was very involved, obviously, in the administration. Jared Kushner was involved in the administration. This isn't a country that's going to go, oh my gosh, well, she's married to a Jewish man. So it didn't make enough sense for us to explore that route. But then we received this email, okay? And I'm just going to, I guess, at first read to you. I actually received 4 emails. Obviously, we're hiding this woman's identity, but she is a member of the Harris family, and I'm going to read you this email that she sent me. She wrote, "Hi, I wanted to reach out. My name is blank. I saw your podcast about Kamala's Jamaican heritage. She's related to me, a 4th cousin, but my grandfather is Michael Ralph Harris. He was an only child. My great-great-great-grandfather and her great-great-great-grandfather were brothers. The picture on your podcast is my grandfather and my grandmother, not hers." Don't worry, guys. I'm going to show you a chart so you can follow this along. Also, the Michael that immigrated to Canada was my uncle, my father's younger brother. His name was actually Mikhail. I have attached the picture from my grandparents' wedding day. It is on my mantle. And then she followed up and said, actually, our great-great-grandfathers were brothers. She made a mistake. It wasn't 3 times. It was great-great-grandfathers. And I'm also going to show you the photo that she attached here of her, because you might recall it from a previous episode that we showed. And she shows that this picture is on her mantle. So I had every reason to believe her. It was a picture that we showed, and she says, okay, these are my grandparents. And we again did show this as potential great uncle of Kamala Harris that was Jewish, named Michael Harris. And she's saying, well, Michael Harris didn't have any siblings. So this was of tremendous interest to me because she not only included this, she also sent to us 5 pages of her family tree, like just a document where she was showing who was born when, dating all the way back to the 17th century. It was actually, like I said at the top of the show, it was incredible. She even had how some people died, and she just had the Bravo Harris line, which we had suspected was Kamala's family, but we weren't certain until this woman emailed us with this documentation. And I mean, she just had more receipts than you could ever ask for. She was very thorough, which, by the way, Jewish people are known to really take charge of their ancestry in a way that.
So according to, remember, we traced her father back, father's father's father, but it didn't have a picture of him when we got to like the 4th generation. So apparently somebody from her family seen the video and said that guy, the missing link, is Jewish. So now we can say that according to the evidence in her family, that Kamala Harris is Jewish, which would be Edomite, which would be Caucasian, not a black woman, not even an East Indian Elamite woman.
That is quite remarkable in a way that I think we all should be mirroring and mimicking. And so I just want to show you the chart that she produced because it gave us clarity. I mean, look at this. This is just one page of the document that she sent me, so you can see how thorough this woman was. And she is saying right at the top of this document, you have a Henry Harris, and that is the shared great-great-grandparent that she has with Kamala. That her then you can see Henry Harris had 2 kids, right? Henry Harris had a Joseph Harris and a Ralph Harris. Again, I'm going to show you a visual chart, so you don't need to try to stay up with everything that I'm saying right now. There's a lot of names, but essentially Joseph and Harris were brothers. And she's saying that Kamala descends from the Joseph line while her family continues on to the Ralph line, and that they were Jewish. So I'm now going to show you a chart because we worked all this out. This was tremendously helpful.
Wow.
We were able to make sense of everything
Wow,
for the first
wow,
time because it's
frickin'
difficult
wow.
with Ancestry.com. You don't know what's real and what's not real.
Let me try to go.
What we were able to determine after speaking with her is she said, you know, my family they were Sephardic Jews.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now I'm going to say something. The powers that be, I don't believe they're going to let a small hat run the United States. So look, we did this together. Remember, y'all, we did this together. But we know that your lineage is by your father's line, right? So you have Kamala Harris at the bottom, right? And then you have her East Indian mother. You have her dad, Donald J. Harris. Then you have Oscar. Remember, Oscar was the son of the slave girl. Because remember, the slave girl's dad had a plantation. He owned slaves. So we got up to Joseph Alexander and we knew about that. But what went prior to Alexander is Albert Harris. So now you have the Jewish lineage. Wow. Lord in Christ. Wow. Hold on, let me drop a bomb.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified.
It's Overton.
And so this is the chart of Kamala's side that she's speaking about. Again, I'm giving you a visual chart because it just helps because there's so many names. But right at the top there, you have Henry, and then you have Joseph. This is where she says Joseph and Ralph. These were Ralph is her line, Joseph is Kamala's line. And you see this, and you can see you've got a Joseph Harris, an Albert Harris, a Joseph Alexander Harris, who allegedly married Miss Chrissy Brown. And then you have Oscar, and then you have Donald, and then at the bottom there we have Kamala. So this is just what we are showing is that paternal line straight from Henry Harris. And what's remarkable is I sort of went, okay, so you're telling me that your family were Sephardic Jews. Let me look more into this Jewish angle. It would be very, again, strange if she's hiding this, but let me go ask Kamala's relative, and I've been in contact with, whether or not he can confirm to me that their family is Jewish. Like, he should be able to tell me about his grandfather. He should be able to tell me about Oscar Harris. These people were all alive recently. We don't need to go that far back. Is Kamala's family Jewish? So first and foremost, I want to say the woman in Canada says they do not agree with Kamala's politics at all. That is why she reached out. She said it's an absolute fact that Donald is lying in his piece in Jamaican Global Online when he says heritage is unknown to him, that is an absolute lie.
So her daddy tried to lie. Wow.
Intentionally blackwashing the Jewish parts of their identity. So where Kamala is Jewish, they are inserting this sort of nebulous black ancestry that doesn't actually exist.
The plot thickens. The plot thickens. The plot thickens. So her daddy, Donald Harris, Kamala's daddy, tried to say he's uncertain about his patrilineal line to try to, because of the politics and the potential of her being the president and not getting exposed of her Jewish roots or white roots, to stake claim to blackness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Tried to lie and cover it up.
And like I said,
she is Amalek. She's a small hat. She's a 1948er. Somebody says, Candace have my baby. Brother, she's married. Even though fornication and adultery are universal laws, chill with the spirit of fornication in the chat.
She keeps records. She has kept them all. And she's saying they are Sephardic Jews. So when I followed up with Donald's direct relatives who I have been communicating with, they confirmed that what she said is true, and it's nothing that they're ashamed of. They don't know why Donald is not telling the truth about the fact that Oscar Harris was a Syrian Jew. Unbelievably, a Syrian Jew. Oscar's father, Joseph Alexander Harris, was a Syrian Jew. So this family is Jewish, okay? Then it kind of occurred to me that we've actually only been given one picture of Oscar Harris, okay? And it's quite strange because despite the fact that her book has colored images all throughout it, Kamala Harris decided to colorize, to turn the photo, which looks like it was a colored photo, into black and white of Oscar Harris. And so that kind of gives him, and we can show this photo up close, that kind of gives him, we're like, okay, I don't know what color he is. Like maybe he's brown, and I guess we're supposed to believe he's brown because we're being told that.
So the baby right there, that's Kamala Harris's daddy.
But Donald Harris is black. Somehow we're not clear on that. But it is of interest that they've only presented this one photo, and we are just led to believe that he's brown. And so I asked Kamala's relative, I said, out of curiosity, okay, you're telling me that his father was a Syrian Jew. You're telling me that there's no question that Oscar Harris was Jewish. So what color was his skin? Was he brown? And he said, no, he was extremely fair-skinned. Like he like white passing. Oscar Harris was white passing. And you don't get that from that image. So once again, we have a circumstance in which she's blackwashing things. Very, very strange. So
Deceptive.
Oscar Harris is, in fact, fair-skinned.
Let's call it what it is. Not strange, deceptive. Let's just call it what it is. She's a devil.
And the evidence is pointing to, and there's no question, it's not even evidence. Like, nobody can dispute this. Snopes can't dispute this. Kamala Harris is Jewish, and she's lying, or not lying, but not addressing the fact that she's Jewish, which is extremely strange. In fact,
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yep. Got her. Got her.
Deep South.
Ma'am, may I ask you something? Have you voted yet?
In southern Georgia, Reverend Ezekiel Hawley is getting out the vote, a right the 83-year-old never takes for granted.
It's very important. Very important.
So this is it here? His office is lined with newspaper clippings from the early 60s, when white supremacists burned down churches here, where activists were registering black voters.
Dr. King and the nonviolent movement changed the world. We're not going back. We're going forward.
Today, a third of Georgia's registered voters are black, more than any other swing state. 4 years ago, black Georgians turned out in large numbers for Joe Biden, flipping the traditionally Republican state. The vast majority of black voters are now expected to vote for Kamala Harris to become the first female and second black president.
I'm very, very hopeful. I love the energy. Women are...
God, man. Like, America is just built on lies, man. Built on lies. Here it is. This woman's Jewish. She's Jewish. What are you doing? Huh? Come here. Come here or get out. But it's crazy, y'all, that she's being painted as this black woman and got the black women, majority of the black women vote, but she's Jewish. Wow, that's crazy. But this is what black people get for being so damn naive and gullible, for being so docile, so trustworthy of the enemy when the Bible says, never trust thine enemy. The Lord in Christ.
on fire.
But for weeks now, opinion polls have shown that a small but significant number of black voters, and men in particular, who supported Biden back in 2020, plan to cast their ballot this time for Donald Trump.
That includes Daryl Allen, who says life was better under Trump.
Economy, border security, and just taking care of our people, putting America first.
The U.S. economy is growing faster than most, but many communities here in southern Georgia wouldn't know it.
The pockets are lighter than they were 4 years ago.
In Vivian Child's home of Bibb County, a quarter of residents live below the poverty line. The 72-year-old already voted for Trump, prompting criticism from other black voters who cite his controversial comments about racial minorities.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
When you hear some of the comments that he's made, how does that sit with you?
I'm going to be always honest. I don't necessarily agree with everything he said. I've been married to my husband for 52 years. We do not always agree. I don't love him any less.
Do you think Donald Trump is racist?
Absolutely not. Racism was when I would go to a restroom and there would be several stalls.
So is he discriminatory? Hold on.
One of those was for me, and it would say colored.
Y'all gonna have a ban on?
So she's saying that if it's not segregated, she's saying if there's no segregation, there's no racism. Black people are through. What else did I have here?
On Miro, teams work faster.
Okay. What the heck?
The exact blueprint, the 101, the here you go, the racial thing where they were saying she was Indian Jamaican, they were saying she's African American, they were saying she's South Asian. I'm not even sure if she's from this planet at this point. They're naming so many different places. But we already talked about that, and I told everyone, look, guys, do not fall for the tricks. Do not fall for the trickerations. Do not let them do this to you. Have some more self-pride. Have a little bit more self-pride than just to look at this and say, yep, there it is. The racial issue. She's South Asian, Indian, Jamaican. That's what I'm looking for. I've been dying for a South Asian, Indian, Jamaican vice president. Finally, thank God. Thank God we finally get to see the day where we get a South Indian, Asian, Jamaican female vice presidential nominee. I get a few photographs sent to me, and they are of Kamala Harris eating. I cannot believe I'm about to say this. It is Kamala Harris eating turnip greens, putting hot sauce on them. Texas Pete hot sauce. And the picture I was sent to me, the caption is, I can tell by the way she's putting the hot sauce on those greens, that's who I want to vote for. And it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that they let this rip. That they just said, all right, guys, let's do it. We know what's going on here. Kamala Harris is the vice presidential nominee. Get her in the hot sauce. Get her in the hot sauce picture. Now, you may be wondering, James, what's the big damn deal? What's the big deal with hot sauce? Why are you talking about this? There's nothing to talk about, right? Well, hold on a second. Let me get back in the Wayback Machine. Let me take you back in time. The only podcast on earth that can go back in time. Let's go back to 2016.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information right now? Hot sauce. Hot sauce in my bag, Swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I
yes.
just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working?
Wow. So what Kamala did was took a page out of Hillary's book. Hillary came with the hot sauce. She knew that stupid Afro-Americans would appeal to that and get the vote. So Kamala Harris did the same thing. Just a page out of Hillary Clinton's book. And she's like, is it working? Yes, it's working. Charlamagne, silly ass, all them guys on the Breakfast Club. Jokers. Complete jokers.
Sir, do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
What's going on, Steeler Nation? Woo! MAGA, baby. Now, normally we're allies, right? But today, normally we're rivals, right? But today we're allies. We're patriots. We're Americans.
This is the football legend Jim Brown's daughter. She's a Trump supporter. Clown. But she's about to say some real stuff, and she's about to say some fake stuff. Right?
And just as my father, Cleveland Brown, number 32, supported Donald Trump, so do I. Because Donald Trump is going to keep men out of women's sports.
No, that's a good point.
I play women's tackle football just like my dad.
That's heavy.
He's offense, I'm defense. Can you imagine us going head to head? No. I'll be taken out on a stretcher for concussion protocol. I'll be hurt. And that's the same thing that's going to happen to your daughters. They're going to have major injuries, mental trauma of men coming into our bathrooms and our locker rooms. Missed opportunities, scholarships taken away. And guess what? Who's going to bear the cost of that? You, as the parent. You're going to bear the cost of full tuition in this Biden-Harris economy. Who can afford that? I can't. Can you? Exactly. And that's why we need to protect Title IX, because Title IX protects us women in sports, bathrooms, and locker rooms. Now I want to talk directly to the Black community. Donald Trump talks about all his achievements and accomplishments with the Black community. And so today I'm going to break it down. First, opportunity zones. Y'all know about opportunity zones, right? Opportunity zones were set in Black communities and neighborhoods. It fosters entrepreneurship, meaning that if you start a business in an opportunity zone, you're no longer going to be paying taxes on your capital gains, which means you're not going to be paying taxes on profits.
Yeah, Republicans are always good at, if you already have money, they make sure you keep a lot of your money. So niggas with some money who are not white, it would be smarter to vote for Trump. That's just a fact.
Also fosters economic development, which now you're going to be able to hire people in your community and your resident to be successful. And that's why opportunity zones are successful, and it fosters Black entrepreneurship and economic development. Trump school choice. Our community and our education system is failing in the Black community. We have low test scores, low graduation rates. Teachers are not being paid for what they deserve. And we're underfunded. But now with Trump school choice, you as the parent have the choice to decide which school you want your child to go to. You're no longer restricted to zones, zip codes, districts. This is fostering parent empowerment. It's up to y'all now to decide where your children are going to go. President Trump did record-breaking HBCU funding. 10 years he set for funding to HBCUs. That means that he's committed to Black higher education. And with President Trump prison reform, he abolished 3.
You have to give them some bread to get the vote. Give them a little bit of crumbs to get the vote.
Strikes, you're out for nonviolent criminals. While Joe Biden in 1988 and 1994 crime bill did historically mass incarceration of Black men. Trump freed them. That shows he's not a racist, how the left tries to portray him.
Oh my goodness.
Now Trump is going to do a mass deportation of illegals. Get out of our country!
Actually, they are the illegal immigrants. This is indigenous. This is the land of the indigenous people. They aren't the immigrants. The Caucasian men are the illegal immigrants. The Caucasians are the illegal immigrants. What is you talking about? Get out of our country. Judah, man. Notice when I said people gotta die, I didn't say all the tribes. Specifically Judah. Judah gotta die. I wouldn't care if it was a 12,000 from the tribe of Judah, and then that's it. Get them gone.
At the University of Wyoming.
Good morning from Washington. Hey, have you heard the news?
In Alaska, what does that mean? The race to 270? Well, that is now over. Donald Trump wins the state of Alaska, and as a result, Donald Trump is once again going to be the president of the United States.
The Fox News decision desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
The former president's comeback will be complete with a win in Wisconsin.
How extraordinary. It is the greatest comeback in modern political history. To find an example of it, you don't have one this century, you don't have one last century. Coming back, not quite coping.
I think when it's all said and done, what you're going to see is a huge divide over people who are college educated and not college educated.
Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not. Pure Project 2025 in miniature in Florida. And that kind of extreme, sort of extremist, right-wing, fascist type government in Florida, does that make it a more attractive place?
Thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite, who are hurting tonight. There are African-American women who know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months. And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt.
And that may be true, certainly for African-American women. The idea that there was on the verge of a potential first female presidency and a first female president of colour. I get it, okay? And what I'm saying is not about those.
So it's an honor to be here. It's a very important area for us. We've done more for, and I say this, I say it proudly, more for the black population than any president since Abraham Lincoln. That's a big statement. And Crooked Joe Biden has done nothing for you except talk. It's only talk, all talk. He gets nothing. He gets nothing for anyone who was lost. He's in Europe. He's walking around. He doesn't know where the hell he is, and he's supposed to help Detroit. I don't think so. But we achieved the lowest African-American unemployment rate and the lowest African-American poverty rate ever recorded during my 4 years. We lifted 6.6 million people out of poverty. Black Americans saw their largest increase in home ownership on record. There's never been anything like it. This is during our period of time. We gave record funding to historically black colleges and universities. You all know that. And got great support. And I will just tell you a quick story. The heads of the colleges would come to Washington once every year, and after 2 years, they said, "Why do you guys keep coming?" And I liked them. I liked a couple of them, really, they're friends of mine, but the whole group was they were just terrific people, men and women heading up the colleges. And I said, "Why do you keep coming?" Because they won't give us long-term financing. We have to come back every year. One said, and I say respectfully, he said, "They make us feel like a bunch of beggars. We have to come back to Washington every year." I said, "Well, we're going to take care of that." And I got them actually more money than they asked for by far, and we got them long-term financing. And I said, "The only thing sad is that I'll never see you again, probably. I will never meet you again," because we got used to meeting. I kept saying it. Then after a couple of years, I said, "Why do you have to keep coming back?" I mean, he said, "We've been doing this for a long time, for 20 years, I guess." The one gentleman said he was here 20 years. He's been doing it for 20 years. I said, "That's not right." And they do a very important job and a great job. And so I got you long-term financing, and I think all of them are voting for Trump. I don't know. I can't say maybe, but I'd say 99% of them. And if they aren't, I don't know what the hell the other side did. But we'll start an investigation or something, okay? We passed historic criminal justice reform, something that people have been after for mostly the black community for years and years. And to get it done, they needed me. And as you know, President Obama tried. Biden doesn't even try. Well, he doesn't have to because we got it done, but we're going to get it improved. But President Obama tried, was unable to get it done. You needed conservative votes, and I got conservative votes, and we got criminal justice reform done. Nobody else could have done that. And we're very proud of it. And when I left office, we had no inflation. Gasoline was less than $2. The 30-year mortgage was at 2.6%. The border was secure. Wages were rising, and the jobs were the best in the history of our country. For African-American, for black Americans, the jobs were the best in the history of our country. Other than that, what did I do? Not that much. Not that much. Now watch the press will put that on. I didn't do that much because they're bad people. You know, that's why they're the fake news. You have the same problem that I do.
I'm placing great emphasis on the first letter in Genesis. Esau, my nemesis, captivity at the end of this. Yeah, Howard Shai coming back to give all of us our benefits. Gentiles ain't getting it, we ain't splitting none of the percentages. Their end, our beginning. Genesis. Join the new camp by emailing me deacon@genesis144.com. Genesis Varsity Online Academy, specializing in Hebrew apologetics. Come learn how to swing sword and defend the gospel. Email me, deacon@genesis144.com. Patreon.com/deacongenesis. All my new, hot, exclusive content and early releases will go on my new Patreon. My content is no longer on czyn.network. So go there, sign up right now, patreon.com/deacongenesis. Shalom. We in here, they talk a lot of ish about us, we don't care. It's going down when we around. Yeah, Howard Shai coming back, taking crowns.